The Seattle Mariners got one of the luckiest and most undeserving wins you might ever see in the MLB. We're going to break down all the key moments from this game, mistakes made, and lucky plays. This is a Game Face Sports Breakdown. If you're interested in more of these, please consider subscribing, and let's get straight into it. Starting with, we're going to get a swinging bunt here with guys on first and third. And I'm pointing out where the first baseman is positioned is because he's holding on the base runner, and he's essentially playing in on the grass, which means if he gets a short ground ball to him, he's going to be in a good position to make a play at the plate to try and get the guy out and save a run. And he's going to have a total misread here. Big mistake, in my opinion. Let's watch. Ground ball right to him. Turns immediately, does not even look at the runner coming in from third, and goes for two. Maybe he thinks he has a chance at a double play to get out of the inning, but we'll look at the other angle here, and I'll show you right. He gets the ball right here. Ball's in his glove right here. He's immediately turning, and he's going to no second thought. And the base runner coming down the third baseline is maybe halfway there. Absolutely, I think could have got this guy had he set his feet and gone directly to four. Also, part of this, maybe a little bit on the catcher. Probably would like to hear him screaming 4-4-4, but they are in a stadium, so maybe he can't hear him if he was doing that. But again, it looks like they had a chance to get him, and they decided not to go for this play. It's a tough call. Most of the time you get a ground ball, you're immediately thinking, hey, let's turn two and get out of the inning. If you're a Mariners fan, you'll take the run here. Now, we're going to put this play into the lucky category. Langford is up to bat. He's going to rip a shot into the gap. Watch what happens. This should have been an easy stand-up triple. I mean, he absolutely bombs this thing. And it's going to ricochet a little bit off the outfielder's stand-up triple scenario. He's rounding two, and he's just picking the ball up. But he trips, gets out, going back to second. Slow-mo, watch his left foot right there. Gets caught up, trips on his own feet, and gets thrown back out at second. That's a scenario where they should have had a guy on third with a stand-up triple, but don't. Another lucky break for the Mariners. Now we're going to get into the mistakes. We got runners on first and third with one out. Mitch Haniger is going to get a ball into the corner here, and he makes a mistake. And unfortunately, this will not be his only mistake in this series. Hit hard into the gap. And he's going to bobble it on the transfer, trying to get the ball in quick enough to maybe get the runner, but it turns it into a triple, and that's the main thing. Again, it's what should have been probably a double turned into a triple. Those extra bases that you give up from mistakes like this are tough. Now, I will say real quick before I show this, the things I get the least upset about are physical mistakes. They happen in baseball. It's tough. Nobody goes and has a perfect season. People don't do that at this level. You're going to make mistakes, but there is a limit though, because if you do it all the time and you're religiously a bad defender, even though they're physical mistakes, if you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And Mitch Haniger has been making a few mistakes out there in right field early in the year that have been tough to watch. You can watch him here on the transfer, just throws it back into the corner and allows an extra base. Again, this is where the ball's at when he bobbles it. I think that runner scores anyways. We're not worried about the guy rounding third here. I think without that bobble and him hitting his cut man, though, that guy rounding first doesn't get to third base. And that's what's frustrating, is you're giving up that extra base. Okay, now we're going to talk about something that if you have been watching my videos for any amount of time so far with Mariners breakdowns, especially in our pitching, I've talked about pitcher covers multiple times now, and how guys are not taking the right angle to the base. Let me show you. Okay, it's a pitcher cover, ground ball to first base. The pitcher thinks he's in a position where even though they're turning two, he might have to go and cover first base for the first baseman. That's his job. The angle that you need to take as the pitcher running to first base should look like this. Up, banana angle, running alongside the first base path. So by the time you get there, you don't have to worry about crossing over. You're at the bag safely. Now, here's the angle that he's going to take, which allows him to give interference to the runner on first and costing us an out, and ultimately in the future costing us a run. These are mistakes that can cost you a game sometimes. He's going to take this straight ass angle to first base and then start to cross over into the first base path and allowing the umpires to call interference. Watch him. He's going to take that straight line to the bag. Gets in the way of the runner right here. See him right there. He doesn't even realize how close he is to the base path. It's really easy when you're running in that straight line to not realize just how close you are to that base path. You cannot get in the runner's way. And that's why you take that initial banana angle. This is why you do it. See, look how close he is. Look how far behind Ty France he is. He's not even paying attention. He's lucky he didn't get run over or stepped on here. This is also how you get injured. Gets in the base runner's way, and they call interference. So instead of a double play, now we have that runner on first, and we're going to make another massive mistake. We're going to get another tailor-made double play ball to Dylan Moore, and he's going to bobble it, costing us another double play opportunity. So instead of potentially 4 outs here, we've made 2. Tough. Again, physical mistake. I try not to be too hard on those. They happen. The mental ones are the ones I get really pissed off about. But again, he makes multiple mistakes in the series too. We'll get to those later. So because of those mistakes, now we're on the very next batter. 2 outs when we should have been out of this inning, and he's going to rip a shot into right field and score the run from first. This is what I'm talking about. These are the mistakes that cost you runs. That's why you can't make mistakes like getting into the first base path. That's why people, when you think maybe I'm being silly or nitpicky about taking the right angle running to a base, it's because of things like this. Mistakes pile onto each other, and then you have runs being scored that should have never happened. So that's why it's so frustrating. That's why the little things and the mechanics in every sport matter so much. They all add up. The Mariners went on to lose that game. So now we're on to the rubber match, game 3. The Mariners do ultimately win this one. We got lucky too. Here's another mistake by Mitch Haniger, a physical mistake, but a mistake nonetheless that costs us extra bases. Rips a shot into right field. Haniger has to get this ball in quick. Can't get a handle on it. Tries multiple times. And again, that turns a double into a triple. Mistakes like this are tough. It's physical, not a mental mistake. But that little slip up right there is all it takes. That's the difference between the runner being on second base and third base. That's the difference. Another mistake, bottom of the 7th inning. Dylan Moore is going to get a can of corn ball at shortstop to make this play. And he's going to boot it, allowing the run on first. We got really lucky to win this game. We do go on to win it. Those were the 2 biggest mistakes in this game. Probably should have lost this one with the mistakes we made. It looks like maybe he lets this ball get a little bit too deep. Probably should have fielded it out in front a little bit more. He is our backup. He's not our starting shortstop. JP Crawford is out, so maybe he's just not very used to the position right now. It's another physical mistake. I'm just saying we got lucky to win. So going forward, I hope the defense gets better. We are first place in the division. That's a great spot to be. Not complaining about that. If you're a Mariners fan, you hope guys can stay healthy. You hope the pitching staff can continue to come out and show out. You hope their offense picks it up. Our defense, you just got to hope they hold on for dear life. That's just where we're at. This is a Game Face Sports Breakdown. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you guys in my next video. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss any more.